Oh, hi. Hey, welcome. I got a bunch of different flavors or scents of incense sticks. And so I want to sell them in my booth, but I want to sell them separately so people can just choose a selection. And in order to figure out which ones are which, I'm going to color coordinate the tips of them. And that way they can just look at a chart and say, oh, yeah, this is definitely the lavender, and so forth and so on. So here's what I'm going to do. This little gadget is really cool. I got it on Amazon. And let me show you how perfect it is. So this top slides back. And inside there are these little tiny like clothespin hooks that you can place something small in. And see, the bottom is a magnet, so it just sits on the table. So if you have a bunch of small items, and if you're on wood and you want to use these, and it's like, oh, what do I do? Just use the container itself, and you can do that. Welcome to this week's DIY and Decor video. I'm so glad that you came over. We should probably start with a cup of tea, but before we do that, let me show you what our plans are for today, and just some little things that we're going to do. For instance, see how small this little pitcher and bowl is? I got this at a thrift shop. I want to say I paid $2 for the top and the bottom. I don't believe it's marked. It's probably hand done. It's already painted. Nice job that they did as far as it's on there. And but I want to update it. I think it's completely adorable. So we're going to update that. I have 3 little small planters, and we can paint those. This planter with an inside, it's got a plastic holder inside that you can put a plant. I've had that at my booth for quite a while. You can see it has like a little crack finish. A very cute job that they did. I think they did a nice job when they refinished it. And it's completely adorable. I want to say that they made this with a mold because all of this is one single piece. So evidently they put something in it, they created it, and then they were able to remove their mold from the inside. I personally love the pink flowers, but when we do it over, we'll paint the flowers a different color. Maybe that's just not a popular color right now and people aren't interested in it, but it's adorable and I think people can use it. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sell it with the plant inside, a faux plant, just a little potted plant. What else do I have? I love this Palmer's cocoa butter, and I use a lot of it. So this is a jar that I have washed out. So we're going to, just for a keep, we can keep things in it. You can keep keys in it, change. I mean, what can you do with a jar, right? You can always do something with a jar. And we're going to dress up the tips of these incenses so that they'll be for sale in the shop in single form. I can sell them singly, and I will show you how I'm going to set that up. This is the holder that I'm going to use for the incense. And what I already did was I took a very stiff, probably a paper towel holder, or it may have been something that held plastic wrap. So it's very stiff, and I'm going to insert these on the inside so that they don't move around. And I know they'll probably get all messed up when it's in the booth, but at least it'll start off nice and neat, and people will have an option to put them inside this little holder. So, but we'll paint this. We're going to paint this, I think, with a metallic paint, and we're going to dress it up with some cinnamon, just an inexpensive cinnamon here that I got to do that. And so I have a number of things here to work with. And if I decide to, I can use this napkin as a decoupage. I love this. I think this is seasonal, all 4 seasons. Everybody loves blue and white, or a lot of people like blue and white. Some people even use blue at Christmas. It never goes out of style, and it fits every season. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to use it on something. I also have some black glaze if we choose to use it. It's antiquing glaze. And some of the crust from Paint Couture Textures, if you can see that. We're going to use that. I have the Mod Podge, which is always good for decoupage. And I mean, a satin clear coat. I don't like to use this on furniture, but I do like it on small things. You know, I like it on my decor. I think it's nice. So I like it for that. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's start with a cup of tea. What kind of tea are you having? I'm having mango pineapple. And look at this mug that I'm going to use today. It's green on the inside and has no handle. And it has a little dingleberry inside. Let me see if you can hear. Can you hear that? And I like to use whole tea, but I've got some mango pineapple in a tea bag. And I'm going to start with that. And I put honey in my tea. I have to start with tea. Let's begin by prepping this. It's all washed, soap and water, and I have that 91% alcohol here, and I am going to spray some on a towel, paper towel, and just go over the outside just to make sure there are no oils left over on it, because these oils will prevent paint from sticking, and it won't last as long. So yeah, you can see that the paint is even coming off with the alcohol because it's very strong alcohol. It's not the kind that you would use in the bathroom. But it's okay if we take a little of the paint off because we're going to paint right over it. Yeah. Okay. We'll let that dry. So I'm using the Incense Bonding Primer. It's a water-based primer and a little a chip brush. And off camera, I did wash everything down with the 91% alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Everything that's going to be painted or decorated, which is everything here. So I'm going to leave the inside. I'm going to leave this to dry. The reason I'm wearing gloves, it doesn't hurt your hands. It's just that when they say it's a bonding primer, it's bonding. So if you leave it on your hands for any length of time, it's really hard to get off. But I will tell you, though, that when I do painting like this and use this primer, if I wash my hands with my homemade sugar scrubs, which we will make someday, let me know in the comments if you're interested in how to make those sugar scrubs, and we'll do a DIY and decor on that. So, but anyway, it gently scrubs off a lot of the products that you use, and it's gentle on your hands, and it removes those oils really well. Any oils or paint, just takes it right off. But in order to, just keep my hands prepped here, I'm going to leave this like that because I will paint the underneath when it dries. It doesn't take long to dry. And I'm going to start on these little planters. I love decorating these planters. I just can't tell you. I don't know, it just brings me peace and pleasure. And I have them all over my porch. Oh, I'll show you one that I did a long time ago. So yeah, isn't that cute? It's painted in a lavender color. I paint the inside, and I have a number of these, all different types, painted on the porch. And I always start with this primer, and I never have any trouble. Yeah, so let me paint the rest of the little planter pots, and I'll come back. I'm going to stipple it on just to make sure that it covers all the spaces. Oops. time for a tea break. I don't know how it was like advertised to me. You know how they send you something, of course, it's something that you need. I'm like, yeah, I need that. I think these would be good for, when you paint your knobs and everything too. How handy will that be? Or if you're painting screw heads and things like that, how nice, right? I'm very excited to start using them. I'm going to use some simple craft paint, and I think I'll start with the purple violet. And let's find a use for this little cup that was inside that planter. So I'm using just a little filbert, and yeah, that way people will know that this is lavender. And I have to choose some colors for the other flavors. And yeah, let me tell you what I have. I have dragon's blood, sandalwood, cedar, let's see, Palo Santo and cedar. And this is the Nag Champa and patchouli. Patchouli is not an incense that I love, or a scent that I love. I would never wear patchouli, but some people just absolutely love it. So, it's good to have. And you want to make the basic consensus happy, something for everyone. So this is pale, but you can still see it. And I think it will be helpful once they're set up. And I was hoping that you could leave me a comment and tell me what price do you think should go on the incense? Now, back in the day, I don't know, it's like so many for like $1. That's what I remember of buying incense. Um, so yeah, tell me, what do you think they should cost? And I think selling, so many for $1 is probably a good idea. What are you drinking today? I'm having hot chocolate. Yeah, we're going to put some copper paint on this nice little holder. Now, this is the holder that I planned to put my incense sticks in so I could sell them at the booth. And yes, I have some not crackle. I have some metallic paint, and it's Modern Masters. It's a very nice paint. And I'm going to give that just a little bit of a stir. Like I said, I wash and save my sticks because I'll use the cleaner end on here. There's no sense in throwing them out. They're just stained, and that's fine. I have a little chip brush. It's a synthetic. So next, let's put some decoupage on that Palmer's cocoa butter jar. Remember that? We did the alcohol and we did one coat of primer. And now I have these, I think they're 3-ply napkins. They're decorative napkins. Oh, maybe they're 2-ply. So we are going to use this as our decoupage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-tear bits of the napkin in any such way, here and there. And I'm going to try not to do them that small. But yeah, because they go on more easily when they are in smaller pieces. And what I do, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's challenging to take a flat piece and go all the way around because you often have like it wrinkles, and because it's, you know, the napkin itself is not round. And so what I do is I layer them. So I just take one edge and layer it over another, and it creates this really pretty interesting pattern. And I like doing it that way. But what way would you like to do it? Would you do it differently? Would you try to do it with the entire napkin itself? And maybe if you do something like that, can you look up my email on the DIY and Decor channel? My email is under the bio, and this is upside down to see how nice and rich the color is. So we won't be apt to make a mistake applying that. And I'm going to use a Mod Podge for this, just the regular Mod Podge. And this one is a matte finish and a chip brush. Yep, just an old chip brush. And let's do, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the top. I think I might just paint the top. And I'm not going to cover the whole jar with it. I'm just going to cover a portion. Will this go? Let's see, will that go? No, it won't. So I'm going to start. Might have to cut these a little bit more. Let's start by using a short piece like this. Now I am using my fingers just because I don't have a plastic wrap in here, but that's a better way to do it. But after I start applying it, I actually use the brush to lay that down. And yes, I am bound to get a few wrinkles, but I really don't mind. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to try to I'm going to try to tear these into smaller pieces. So let me show you what I mean when I say layer them. This will come off once it's dry. And I'm going to go this way so that the straight edge is up at the top. I don't have to do that, but use this brush. Oop, there we go. We'll take our time here. No need to rush. There we go. I like that. I like it a lot. Now see how it doesn't matter when you layer over it? So I found this jar of Waverly paint, chalk paint, and I thought, yeah, let's use this beautiful blue color just on the top. So I'm going to try to scooch my fingers underneath that and dip into this. I did have to thin that paint a little bit with some water. And I'm sure this will take a couple of coats, and then I will spray over it with either acrylic clear spray, clear coat, or perhaps some shellac. This is kind of cute, huh? And it's possible that I might, I don't know if I have any transfers in the house. I might use a transfer. Yeah, here's my little pile of uneven bits of paper towel holder. And I can just barely reach this with my glue gun. I'm going to do just a little bead down here. And I'll take the next one. I'll actually just make sure that they're sitting even. The tops may not be even, but and in order to fit them in, I think I'm going to have to, yeah, I'll go like this. How's that sound? Okay, so what I did was I took some of this texture crust and I placed it in a little plastic container. And I also got a little bit of my acrylic. It's a very inexpensive paint. It's made actually by Crayola. We don't mind that. I'm going to take and put a little bit of brown acrylic into the texture. Oops. Let's see. Now brown, you say, oh, brown. That might be good. So what we're going to do to this, it has one coat of the metallic copper paint on it, and we're going to do a mixture of the copper metallic and some, what's this, Barbados blue paint couture paint. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just plop some paint down just here and there, and then take some of the Barbados blue, and I'm going to try not to contaminate it, but what I want to do is just place it here and there. And then I'll take my copper brush and just do a little bit of mixture on it. So it's texturing and it's giving us a little bit of like a tarnished copper look. And I think that will be cool. And so now I'm almost at the end of my metallic paint. If you want to do this and you have a brand new can of paint, of course, just put your paint in a different container. But this is almost gone. So and I am going to. I'm not being super careful with it. So this is a decoupage napkin, and I think this would be absolutely lovely on this pitcher and bowl. It looks like I think it's called Monet's Water Lilies. So it's fashioned after that look. Let's use that. I'm going to tear up some pieces off camera. I poured the Mod Podge in a little container this time. And I like to clear off the end so it doesn't get yucky. It still does, but it's better than if you don't take care of it. So yeah, I have a bunch of little bits of paper that I tore up. What I might do, I'm not sure. Let's see how this looks on the outside. So I'm not going to worry about the inside just yet. And anything that's left over like that, I'll just trim off afterwards. And will I get wrinkles and things? Yes, but it's it's going to look really good. So here's what I do when it wrinkles. I try to be kind of have some dexterity here, but you can just tear, okay? Make a little tear while you're working. Put that side down, and then put the other side over it. So, you know, you will still get some wrinkles, but very minimal. It's fine. That's why tearing up the paper works really well. Um, you'll avoid a lot of wrinkles that way. Again, I'm going to put it down and make a little tear. And then go right across it. So easy. Anybody could do it. Anybody. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I might tear up some teeny ones because the closer I get to the top, I want to leave this, you know, open. I don't want to cover that. So what I plan to do is go up, whatever is peeking out and left over, I'll just go over it with a little bit of sandpaper. Well, let's go all the way around the bottom first. And this is fun. I could just do this all day. It's just such a good way to pass the time. I think I might need a cup of tea. Afterwards, I will show you. I made some of these. I didn't record it. It was before I actually had the channel, DIY and Decor. And I made some for my booth. And most of them sold, but I went in the other day and I just took down whatever was left over. And so I brought home a pumpkin. I actually left some of the jars. I don't mind if they're not jars. Not jars, but bottles. I left the bottles because people will buy that, you know, at any time. It doesn't have to be a particular holiday or anything like that. Um, so a whole, oops, it's upside down. So I'll show you the pumpkins that I made. They are so cute, and they were for fall. This is a nice fall paper, but really, it's not limited to fall. I think you could use it anytime. Anytime. Yeah, so fun. I'm going to give this a little bit of a tear. Yeah, just so easy, so fun. Yeah, I'm going to do the handle as well. Let's see, I'll save that little piece. Now holding my thumb on the edge and tearing with the other hand because I'm leaving just the tiniest bit of overhang around the edge, and I'm going to push those down with some more of the Mod Podge, and then I will paint the bottom. So over the edge, let that dry. This little thing, that's the bottom of the pitcher and bowl. It was like doing a pie crust. Thank you so much for watching this week's DIY projects. We did a lot of things this week. We did a planter, we did 3 clay pots, we did all the arrangements of the incense and printed out a nice graphic for it. I refinished this little pitcher and bowl, and it's so awfully, it's still a little sticky from the shellac. Don't know if I showed you that, but I painted the bottom. And we did a little Palmer's cocoa butter jar over with decoupage. It was so much fun. Now these are shiny because not only from the shellac, but I put some glass bead gel on there as well. And just let me say, all the greens and all the blues are matching. So I used the same green and the same blue on each piece, except for the incense tips, of course. But yeah, and it's so cute. It's coordinating. It makes a nice little vignette here. And yeah, so I'm going to bring these to my booth. And thank you again for watching. I hope you'll come over again and have some tea or something with me. And I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye.